Last time in Polymorph Self, the true chronicle of adventure and skullduggery by Master Sorcerer, Scholar, and people's favourite Onas Ondiri. The crack team approached the object of their quest, the Ornithopter, which rested like a spent fallen firebird among a field of filth. Bjorn's inept scouting got him in a sticky situation, and literally up to his neck in trouble, before he was hauled to safety by Seyda. After some more squelching about, the team conducted a combined sneak and stride against a phalanx of hobgoblins led by a dark cleric. During the encounter, Raymond the giant celestial fire beetle made his first, and possibly last, appearance, summoned by the great Onas Ondiri. Hjani got hit by an evil spell that brought her face to face with her true self, and she unsurprisingly fell into a deep depression. Meanwhile, Seyda got in some serious cleaving, before finding herself in the clutches of a deathly evil death grip of certain doom and death.
Suddenly recall the childhood tales of evil clerics who touch you and then bad things happen.
Yeah.
Whoa, okay.
We're digging up some shit today.
Are you sure you're not in Hjani's brain?
This is my fourth fear.
The evil cleric's fear spell was so powerful that it even reached out through the metaverse to the dungeon master. Yeah. Okay, so what's your AC under the box touch, which is basically minus
13.
your armor? 13. Okay. Okay, and his touch attack will be his strength and his base attack, so it will be plus 3, and he has to beat 13, right?
Mm-hmm.
He gets 13.
No.
Plus 3 is 16. He touches you. You feel an icy, sort of like veins and strands of ice reaching out around your heart. Your life's flashing before you.
Oh, my ponies. My ponies on the plains.
And somebody has to lend me a d6.
Yep.
Now, what's your total hit points?
At the moment, 19. Oh, well, that's minus the subdue. My total hit points.
You're paralyzed for a moment. You feel the icy grip of death in your heart, in your veins. You're just, all your deepest fears are coming out in your mind. And then it kind of subsides and he backs off and he has a quizzical look on his face. It seems his power at his skill level of being a cleric is not enough to overpower your physical strength.
Can I
and
stab
mind.
him now?
Yes, you can.
He might be tripping dicks right now.
He's now flat-footed, so his AC is not 15. It is 14.
Yeah, flat-foot.
I'm going to stab him. I rolled a 7 plus 5 is 12. Oh, no.
Okay, so you try to bring around your greatsword. He's faster than you think. He gives you a sort of front kick and pushes you back out the way and takes his mace and gets combat position. Meanwhile, the hobgoblin comes running at you, and it throws its spear at you. What's your AC?
Oh, my AC is 15.
Oh, I should have said Bjorn, because people are listening to this, not looking. Who's you? That's right, yeah. My bad. And I just did a massive sniff as well.
Whoa, hey, keep your drug problem off the show, please.
Oh, yeah, because I'll edit out the sniff, and then it'll just truly sound like I'm making a reference, won't it? Yeah. Okay, don't do drugs, kids. Stay in school.
Yeah,
stay in school. Now, that's mixed messages, because only a few pods ago, I believe we were all talking about how awesome drugs are.
For me.
For you, yeah, that's
Hjani.
right.
Yeah, but those kids have already died of OD by now.
We've weeded out the weak ones.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm having a pretty bad trip right now,
Yeah.
so who knows?
We just have the cool
Maybe it just
dropouts
comes to
left.
bite you.
Okay,
Anyways, he throws
back
a
to
spear
Bjorn,
at
and
me.
your AC is, sorry?
15.
He gets a 17 plus 1 when throwing is an 18.
Okay.
His spear goes flying at you. And he's sort of looking around things, trying to keep away from it. Hits you for 5 points of damage. And this hobgoblin was not doing subdue damage. He threw a spear at you, yeah. It was the ones surrounding you guys that were trying to sort of beat you down, subdue you. So, we're back to the party's one. Hjani, you come around.
Yay!
And you suddenly see a spear sort of like fly through the air, whistle past your face, and basically the point of the spear just like puts a big sort of tear across Bjorn's ribs and rends his leather armor open.
A lot.
Yeah,
It's gonna wind you.
and then that hobgoblin is now like bearing down on you two. So let's your action, starting with Hjani. What do you do now you come awake?
Well, after fear comes anger. right? Is that how that goes?
No,
Okay.
Are we still going
Denial.
through the stages?
All right, I pull out my longsword and I run to hit this hobgoblin coming at me.
It's basically right by you, but to
So
the side.
I take one very quick step to hit this hobgoblin.
Its
coming
AC
at
is
me.
15.
Okay, I have a +7 on my longsword, Frosty. 18 +7.
Okay, you draw your longsword. Its blade glowing. Its blade glowing blue with ice, and you hit the onrushing hobgoblin for.
It is a 1d8 +2 plus 1d6 frost damage afterwards.
Okay.
So 8 plus 2 is 10, and then the frost damage is 1.
But it's 11 points
It's
of damage,
11
right?
points of damage.
Okay, so it throws a spear and hits Bjorn. Then it runs to sort of then jump on Bjorn and throttle him, or finish him off. But what happens is Hjani comes out of her fear, draws her glowing frost sword, swings it into his midriff, and you see it cut in, and immediately all his midriff sort of spreads with like a patch of like magic ice going over him. And as the sword keeps going through, his midsection like shatters like it's been frozen then broke.
Ooh.
And he falls into
Yes.
2 pieces.
Oh, I feel better already.
I think you're overcompensating for that little depressive episode you just had.
Now,
Nobody heard.
I did. I
back
heard it
in the
all.
center of the clearing, there is one hobgoblin left, tussling with Raymond the celestial beetle.
Like
who's
kind of
still around.
a dance, isn't it? They're just kind of
Yeah, and Seyda is facing off with this evil cleric who's got his shield and his mace up now
I don't like this guy.
and is circling. He looks at you and he says in common language, "The void will manifest on the material plane and swallow you."
Void, 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 blah, 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 chop, chop, chop.
It's his go next because you've had a chop at him. It's actually Onas's turn next. And Raymond.
Raymond.
Can Raymond
Can
get
Raymond
a bite in? Come on,
do
Raymond. Bite
anything?
+1, AC 15. Yeah, I'm sorry, but we don't know who they are in the game.
Don't care.
That's just exactly how Raymond the Celestial Beetle sounds to you. Okay, go.
Oh, he's got a 3.
He fails again,
Born 3.
but luckily he's got Onas to back him up, who's got plenty of spells left. So
Yeah.
you walk up.
I'm not doing another summon monster, that's for sure.
While he's distracted by Raymond, you do what?
Okay, so am I within shocking grasp range of this guy? Can I?
You are, and you know what? He's distracted by Raymond. He's got his back to you. You just sort of stroll up, and you can only miss with a natural 1.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, I got a 7, which kind of looks like a 1,
Yeah.
but it's not.
Okay, you sort of flank him while he's not looking,
gonna
stupid hobgoblin, and you just stick your hand on his shoulder to tap him on the shoulder. He looks around, and you send a burst of magical energy through him for how much damage?
Right, could I have one more D6 from over there? I could roll one.
3d6. Oh, he's only got 3 hit points left, so this is
Oh,
going
has
to be
he?
awesome.
So this is guaranteed. Almost guaranteed. Okay, that's a 4, a 4, and a 6.
Okay,
that's
so
14.
Here's what happens. He turns to you like, with an arched neck. You send so much magical electricity through him
Uh-huh.
that it fries him from the inside out. His jugular bursts and sprays you with green blood, and then he
Oh.
falls twitching to the floor again.
That's good. I thought his head was going to
Nice.
come completely off, but maybe that's still pretty good.
And Raymond dematerializes and returns to the astral plane.
Bye, Raymond. Everyone say bye to Raymond.
Bye, Raymond.
Goodbye, guys.
Oh yeah, awesome. So
He's looking pretty mercy
Seyda, what's your, let's finish this. Seyda is
Let's
facing off
finish
with
this.
the evil cleric. So Seyda, what's your AC?
My AC is 18.
And he has light mace +3. But he rolls a 5. He swings his mace at you. You deftly step out the way. His AC is 15 with his
Okay.
chainmail.
I swing my greatsword. That is a 15 plus 5 is 20.
Roll the damage.
2d6. A 3 and a 4 is 7 plus 2 is 9.
Your mighty blow with your huge greatsword splits his chainmail asunder and cuts him down the front, and he falls to his knees bleeding. He's not dead or unconscious, but he drops his mace and shield, and he just basically kneels there, lets his arms fall down by his sides, palms up, and just sort of stares into space, sort of in a meditative look, and kind of gives up. He's sort of bleeding heavily out of a wound on his front. It seems that he has surrendered, or he stopped fighting, and everyone else is defeated, right? So, Seyda, without thinking, what's your final action?
I'm going to kill him. He made me feel feelings.
He did
feel feelings.
He made us all feel
He did
things.
have a pretty good go at murdering you with one touch. So he kneels down, smiling meditatively, thinking these do-gooders, of course, will not kill me. But what you do is you swing your sword, and you can only screw this up with a sort of comedy natural one roll. So
a 13.
He kneels down, relaxed position, stares out smugly, and you chop his head clean off, and it goes rolling across the camp and falls into the fire pit and burns.
No!
Now we should go and interrogate him.
I was going to
hang on.
interrogate the head.
Okay, all enemies are defeated. The camp seems to be yours.
Great, let's have a look around.
Yes.
Feeling a little more chipper now.
You've got everything out your system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a good cry. Sometimes you just really need a good cry.
Do you guys have, because it was in your pack there, the map that you do have?
Oh, yes.
Because the first thing you find in
Is a
one
map?
in the tent, one of the tents has a table out with a map on it, which is similar enough to your map that you can see all the same landmarks on it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some strange spidery handwriting on it in a language you don't understand, but there seems to be a lot of markings and notes at the north there by the silver wood, where it says, sorry, I'm trying to see from here. Yeah, this is great podcasting, where it says Broken Bridge. There's a lot of notes and handwriting there. The rest of the tents are full of sort of makeshift mats for sleeping on, bits and bobs, and about 12 copper pieces in loose change.
And we're going to search the bodies as well.
The bodies don't have any...
Except the gooey ones.
Okay, Onas, so let's get back to, if you have an action, say like eye search, and which body, be specific, go.
Well, I'm going to search the cleric because he might have some cleric stuff, if you do not mind, Seyda.
Let me go straight there, because you search his decapitated body. And you find in his belt, in a kind of large pouch, a small, sort of just about the same size as your hand, beautifully leather-bound sort of small book.
Oh, lovely.
And it has a word on the title in common, which says, and I might have to spell it, it says anti-theophany. So A-N-T-I, and it's in common language, it has the same meaning, anti as in opposite or not, A-N-T-I hyphen T-H-E-O-P-H-A-N-Y. Theophany. And Onas, in your sort of educated scribe existence, you've never heard of anti-theophany, but the word theophany means a god manifesting itself in the material world to a person, like appearing to a person in a manifestation.
Maybe as a fire beetle, for example.
That's what you know.
Yeah. Very shitty fire beetle.
I'm Ringo. Quake before me.
Yeah, I got 3 more to
A
get
god.
Okay, so I
That's
guess
what
I
you
will
find.
take this book and I will study it at some point later, I'm sure.
Okay, Seyda.
Well, if the cleric's been turned over, I guess I'm going to have a look in the tents.
Okay, apart from the tent with the table and the map, the other ones have the makeshift beds, they say 12 assorted copper pieces, and no other people at all. But in one of them, you do find like a set of like ropes and leather ties, which are obviously used for binding people, but there's no one in there, but they are there.
Well, I'll take some of those ropes and ties. You never know when those will come in handy later.
Okay, so I don't know how you'd write it down, but you have a set of things for professionally and tightly binding someone, rather than just putting rope.
You've got a bondage kit.
Yes.
Bondage kit, that's how you can describe it, yeah. And there's a real difference there, because if you just use rope to tie people up, if they had a skill, for example, like escape artist, and it was just a loose piece of rope, that would just be a difficulty check of 15. So even without a skill, people have a sort of, 25% chance of just getting out of that, right? Now, let's take someone who is skilled. For example, Bjorn, what's your escape artist check?
Sorry, guys. Escape artist plus 10.
That's right. So, for example, he would only have to roll basically not a natural one to get out of any kind of, regular. Oh, no, that'd be for 12. So for 15, you'd have to only beat 15 with plus 10 to get out of anyone who tied you up using whatever rope or things were to hand. Now, this kit would bring it up to a DC 20. Right. So a regular person would only be able to get out of this on a natural 20. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Regular person would need a safe word.
What is that safe word?
Can I want to look around for any clues to Arpitani or anybody who might have stolen the ornithopter. Any signs of them?
What's your search skill?
It is a +9.
Okay, so see if you can beat 15.
That's a 9 + 9, 18.
And what's your survival skill for trekking?
It's just based on my wisdom, which is a +1.
And you have to beat 15 again.
I rolled a 19, 20 with the +1.
Okay, so Bjorn, you search around the tent where the bindings were, and you ace your search and your tracking. And you can see from sort of marks in the ground, marks around the tent, the bindings, the way the beds are, you figure out that they did capture someone and hold them here. And then it seems that a party of, say, 3 or 4 people who look like hobgoblin stature, feet size and boots, plus one slightly smaller person did in fact march out of here within the past sort of 3 or 4 days, heading north.
Okay, I'm writing this down. Also, Seyda, what did the cleric say to you?
Something about voids opening. It all
coming
sounded.
onto you?
I think so. He touched me.
Oof.
Bad touch. Bad touch.
Stop. Get out of the fetal position, Hjani.
Yeah, you've learned that clerics of this order are evil, worshipping the death domain, and have the death touch skill, which, by the way, meta comment to key you in is their level amount of D6, like Shocking Grasp, and if they exceed your hit points, you die no save and no coming back. So, for example, he was level 2. He didn't really have the power to try, but in game terms, he doesn't know that, right? So if you met anyone else of this order who seems to be a bigwig,
don't let them
be
touch
careful. Yeah,
Bros.
That's what you've learned today.
The more you know.
You know what? What are we doing here when there's a goddamn ornithopter just over there?
Mhm.
Going clambering all over and gambolling with. Let's get down there.
Yeah, let's go search the ornithopter and figure that out now.
Okay.
Or do we want to sleep in this camp first?
It's late afternoon now, mid-afternoon.
Let's go play in an ornithopter.
You've got another round of actions and examining before you sleep for the night, yeah. So
yeah, let's all examine the ornithopter.
So all 4 of you are going to wade out to the ornithopter. Oh, by the way, approaching it from this island, you don't have to go into the real sort of... It's basically in front of it where all the earth is piled up, so... You don't have to get right in the bog. So all 4 of you climb down the embankment into the sort of bog, sticking to where the earth is ramped up from the impact. And you're all standing around this ornithopter. So it's this 20-foot long golden machine. The wings are in segments. It does look like they may flap, yeah, although you can't imagine how flapping them would lift that weight. There's the big oval sort of cockpit in the top where you can sit, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, 2 facing back with this strange... sort of it looks like some form of projectile weapon or
Let's
weird
invent
thing.
a word for that. I think I'm going to call it a gun. No, I've just invented the word for it.
Do you want to make a knowledge arcana check and see if you can remember any legends of the ornithopter to see if you can find out the word?
If I've got a chance to do that, yes. Okay.
What is your arcana check?
My knowledge arcana is I've got a 2, a skill modifier of 2.
Okay. You have to beat 15.
Okay. Here we
to
go.
recall its true name from the legends.
Recall its name. Otherwise, I'm just going to call it a gun. Oh, I got a 1, so I complete.
Okay, you can't recall what it's called at the moment, but there you are. And in the front seat, which are front facing, there's again these sort of 2 pedals and a stick.
Can we press the pedals now?
Well, you can if you climb into it and sit in it. Please don't forget to state actions, even the obvious things.
I was asking those guys if we can press the pedals now.
Look, could somebody sense some magic on the thing? I want to figure out the gun. I want to figure out this stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can figure out how it works with a sense magic.
A detect magic spell.
I cast detect magic.
Here's what happens. You and only you get a strong such a huge feeling of magic from this thing. It's overwhelming. It's imbued with the greatest magic force you've ever been around, ever. And you see it glow up red, and the focus of the light appears to be somewhere between the two seats, which back into each other. And you sort of follow it with your eyes, and you notice there is a kind of like small compartment door disguised as part of the seat down there, where all the most of the magic is emanating from.
Wow, can I open that compartment and have a look? I'm trying to.
You do. You open it up, and you see a small cube sort of recess, which is sort of down between the seats, sort of where the belly of the machine would be.
Mm-hmm.
And in it, sitting in a sort of ornate stand, is a diamond. Now, you know enough to know that a lot of magic items are powered by or created with, rare and valuable gems. So you ascertain that this is the power center of this like large magic device, essentially.
Okay.
Did someone say magic device? Who's got use magic device, you guys? This guy.
You like using that? You can use.
Bjorn.
You think you know? You
I've got a
work this out?
+2 to it.
Okay. Can you work this out? Do you want to have a sit in those controls? And
Let's all go sit in the controls.
All right, you get in the Seyda gets in the co-pilot seat with me. You want to sit up front?
Yeah, I want to sit up
All
front.
right, we both sit down up front.
I guess
we're in the back. Are we
Okay.
nearly there yet?
You guys are very trusting of a guy who's never used this before to just get in the back. I only bring Seyda along because she's real eager.
Okay.
Realized recently that I need to let go of my fears more.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I would like to sit down in the driver's seat, and I want to try the pedals first.
Okay, you're all sitting in your positions. Bjorn, you step. There's a left and a right pedal. Which one would you like to step on?
Left?
It doesn't really like move a lot, but it does like give a little, and you sort of you sort of step on it, and nothing happens.
All right, when pressing it, like I have Seyda look at the wings. Are the wings doing anything? Is anything happening?
Nothing's happening, and of course, your detect magic spell is still sort of going, and you're realizing that the magic is kind of dormant right now for whatever reason, and it's not being awakened by pushing this pedal.
Do we still have that vial of poppy juice?
I've still. Well, wait.
You're gonna just smear that all over the diamond?
I want to smear the poppy juice all over the diamond.
Well, I've got nothing better to say.
Guys,
You can if you want.
I don't recall by now if you guys even knew that I had this, but I've got one of these illegal vials.
I don't know, just kind of tipping it all over a diamond
can
is
just
kind
put a
of
little bit.
waste.
Can the
Can I
DM say,
try-
are
well,
you?
I'm going to try the right.
Are you referring to your unopened, extremely rare vial of magically charged elixir veri that you potentially need to save the princess, Arpitani?
I didn't think I was the only one carrying.
By the way, I'm just recapping what you talked about in the last session.
Yeah, that
Not
highly
hinting.
precious magical thing, which is going to tip it over.
Because
crystal.
no, you sold the other one, didn't you? That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you only have that one. Okay, good. I'm clear.
Okay. All right. I try the right pedal.
Again, it feels snug. It gives a little to sense your foot, but nothing happens.
Maybe a couple of drops.
Maybe we should get out and push.
I drop a little bit of the illegal vial onto the diamond.
The diamond and the thing. Okay,
Pling, pling, pling.
you open the vial. As you do, the sort of fumes of it, which are quite potent and spicy, go up your nose. And just for that moment, and this is the first time any of you have ever, let alone seen it, but opened the magical one, right? This is like
Well, I did handle a bit of that spent stuff when I tried to get the cleric.
the spend stuff, yeah. But when you open this, you get a waft of it directly up your nose, right? What's your willpower save?
Oh God. +2.
Okay, you are being consumed with a craving and a desire to just put that dab not onto the diamond, but onto your tongue. And if you fail to save, you kind of say, and you just sort of do it quickly for anyone who listens. If you succeed, you take a breath and you put it onto the diamond. So +2, right? And you've got to the basic save against DC 15.
Before I roll this, I just want people to know out in the listening world that addiction is a real thing. It's much more complex than just rolling a dice, you guys. So be careful.
Unless you're gambling.
Mm-hmm. +2 to willpower. 10. That's a 12.
So here's what you see. Bjorn looks at you and goes, okay, let's do this. He pulls out the vial. He opens it. He goes, You see him give a weird look, but then he does put the dab on his thing and you're like, okay. And you get out the back seat and he maneuvers around to where the diamond is in the recess. His hands are shaking a bit. He's looking around. Then you see him just sort of go, like sort of furtively, quickly stick that thing on his tongue. Sorry. Furtively, quickly, like a real sort of strung out addict, he quickly gets that dab in his mouth like that. And then he puts a vial, puts a plug back in the vial and squirrels it back into his pocket and starts staring at you all.
Can I just finish the task and I just want to put some on the diamond?
No. As soon as that thing hits your tongue, you feel two things. The first one is you've never had this before. You can't handle it at all. Your mind is basically going to be blown. But at the same time, for the duration of this dose, I'm not going to tell you how long your unbelievable hallucinations and head trips going to go on for. But what I am going to tell you is you get 1d12 extra hit points and +2 strength points while you're under its influence.
God.
So roll a d12.
I feel it's only proper to tell you guys now that I did try to dose the
That's
cleric.
the d12 next to the 10 there. Yep.
10.
So for the duration, until I tell you otherwise, you have a sort of temporary extra hit points of 10.
Well,
And
it is
a
good thing that
temporary-
Seyda killed
A temporary extra 2 strength points, which would bring your strength to what?
2.
No, what's your score on your strength? I mean, your actual score.
Oh, 12.
12, so up to 14, so you get +2 to hit and damage in combat as well.
Oh, no, sorry. It would go up to 12. It's currently 10. It would go up to 12.
So +1.
Yeah.
You get that effect, but also, as you are not afflicted with the disease that this specifically treats, and it's your first time, this is way above the untreated one. At the moment, you are just seeing a magical rainbow world of your brain's own making, and in fact, he just sort of slumps back in the seat, and he's just staring out.
Well, we've seen this before, haven't we?
This is way worse. He's mute. He's drooling.
Oh, this is worse than Hjani's little...
He's just literally staring out and drooling with the biggest grin on his face you've ever
I think
seen.
we're already sitting the golden bird. I don't know how this
Yeah.
could get more trippy.
I'm sorry, Bjorn. All you can say is drool and grunts.
Yeah,
right
it
now.
comes out to these guys. Bird.
Right, that didn't work.
I'm gonna reach and can I take the vial off him?
Yeah, it's just back in his pocket
Okay.
and he's incapable. So you take the vial out of his pocket.
I'm gonna try. I feel like as a human, I'm unafflicted by your weird elf addictions. I'm gonna try and put a drop onto the diamond.
Okay, you open the vial. The fumes sniff into your nose. You find yourself overcome with desire to put that dab onto your tongue and not onto the diamond. What's your willpower save?
+1. A willpower save. 2.
Onas is just like watching this, taking notes into his future novel with a big grin
Yeah.
on his face. Okay, +2, so you have to beat 15.
Oh dear.
Equal to or beat 15.
13, 14, 15.
Okay, you steady yourself, you close the bottle,
Willpower.
and you put the dab onto the diamond. You stand back. And there's no perceivable difference.
And I can't... I've still
No,
got my
your
detect magic.
spell has spent now.
Oh, is it spent? It's gone. Okay.
Hjani, what are you doing during all of this?
Biting her fingernails off.
Basically. This is the fear thing still on me? Is why
No, it's long
I'm
gone.
looking?
It's long
Is
gone.
this why I'm looking at this scene?
Oh no, can you no longer tell the difference between the magical fear and reality and
This-
cold hard reality?
Honestly, it's like, well, I guess if I'm living in my worst fears, that just makes me more accepting of them. All right then. Well, so what should we do about this ornithopter? Two people who can still hear me.
We've tried everything we can to get it going. I guess we're gonna have to go find that princess.
The
Yeah.
solution is simple.
What are we going to do about him?
Well, I guess we should
Maybe-
drag him back to camp and perhaps
Let's
we
have
could...
a sleep.
Yeah, let's all have a sleep
little
off.
sleep and,
Before the sleep, I'm going to give Onas a second try at his knowledge arcana.
Okay, because I guess the first one was just about the.
You can
pointed
retry.
gun
You can
thing.
you can retry after
Well,
intervals.
this is more a general one, just about now that we've had a look and we've done some experimentation in the cockpit, as I'm going to call it.
Yes.
Because it's full of cocks. Okay, do another check.
So you need to beat 15, and your knowledge is.
My knowledge arcana is +2, so I need I'm gonna roll now. I got a 3 +2. That's 5. I didn't beat.
Nope.
anything.
It seems that ancient knowledge and passages referring to ornithopters are very, very obscure,
Yeah.
and you just can't recall having studied anything about it. So you camp for the night. In the tents, the fire's still smouldering. Actually,
Sure. And can I also read my bedtime reading is going to be that book that I picked up. The
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm just going to tell you now what it is you
Okay.
learn before you go to sleep, and then we'll do the wake up in the morning, and I'll roll to see if anyone
I don't
comes.
sleep.
You, yeah.
we've got that
I
bondage.
get the fire lit
Oh, yeah.
again.
We've got the bondage
And-
kit. Maybe we can.
But yeah, should we maybe bondage him up?
Yeah, I bondaged him up just so he doesn't harm himself or anyone else.
gag as well. would be
Bjorn
good.
is professionally tied up with leather thongs to stop him harming himself.
Jerks.
Or as they hear it. Okay, so. Oh my god, okay. Yeah.
He's a gimp.
And
Hi,
and just
Bjorn.
yeah, just to clarify, that's the sound of someone tripping balls, open mouthed. So let's go to as you prepare to sleep, you light a candle, which is
I'm
you
making
conveniently
toilets.
find, and you read this book, and skipping through it, you find that this cleric seems to belong to an order, an evil order. Called, bizarrely enough, the Church of Anti-Theophany. And it seems that they believe in the sort of negative or the evil version of theophany, which is the manifestation of God to man on the material world. And they believe in the formless void of the universe as the force they worship. And they are dedicated to sort of manifesting the void on the material plane in the form of evil deeds. And it seems they have temples, a structure, and this is totally new. This has never been heard of in your kingdom before. You don't know where it comes from, where it originates from, but you're just sort of reading this sort of book of theology, which is largely mumbo jumbo and non-logic, but these are the kind of terms it's using, although you've seen that he does have power, so you're just reading the sort of rituals and the dogma, and that's the basic sense you make out of it.
Okay, but it doesn't tell me. It just tells. This is an overview of this. I guess it's a religion. or
pamphlet.
Religious
order.
tenets.
It's a
Yeah.
Got
pamphlet.
a
Yeah,
nice pamphlet.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe
Would you like to let anti-theophany into your life?
maybe you're like, actually, I have seen this before. It was like someone it was put through my letterbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, Liz.
Oh my god, put through my letterbox. That's an old world reference if there ever was
That's
one.
why we
Right?
don't know about it. We just keep throwing it out with the junk.
That's right. Okay, so you sleep for the night, and let me roll to see if anything happens. And yeah,
I would like to do an intimidate check on these shackles. I want to scare them off of me.
Here's a funny thing, right? A quiet night passes and no one else comes back to the camp or approaches you through the mire. But here's something interesting. I want to see if Bjorn's escape artist skills are just so fly that he even somehow in the middle of a trip and a sleep sort of got out of his bondage gear. Now the bondage gear is DC 20, but you do have a escape artist 10.
Plus 10, yeah.
So roll that dice. And let's see if you inexplicably wake up out of your bonds in the
And
morning.
then just Houdini out of it. That's 10 plus a 10.
Is 20. So in the morning, you all wake up. Now, Bjorn, you are not incapacitated tripping, but you still have the strength and hit points effect of the elixir vary. But you can see what's around you. You feel groggy and hungover, but strangely awesome too, and heroic and emboldened. And you have no idea how long this is going to last, but the good effects are still continuing. But after an 8-hour sleep, you don't appear. Your body seems to have adjusted to it being your system. Now you all wake up. You get outside. It's the morning. It's bright, but the sky's still sort of like grey and pale. And you're in this mire. The ornithopter is still where it was. The fire is smouldering embers, and it's up to you what you do next.
Maybe we should hide the ornithopter best we can.
Can we pile some mud and branches on it?
I guess that'd stop it glinting in the distance, wouldn't it?
Right.
There are certainly plenty of materials. By the way, you notice that Bjorn is sort of come out the tent, shielding his eyes against the sun and yawning, and he hasn't got his bonds on him, but he is cogent.
Hey guys, where's breakfast?
What?
Why do you sound like Raymond?
I don't know.
Let's forget about Raymond.
Everybody loves Raymond.
That's true. They did until he disappeared onto the astral plane.
I miss that guy.
You see that episode? Okay, let's go and cover up this ornithopter.
Yep. All right, we all go and cover up the ornithopter best we can.
Okay, we're all agreeing. So, okay, you get back into the bog. You cut down some of these creepers, leaves, and vines, and you cover it up so there's going to be no reflection, no glint, and if someone didn't know it was there, they might sort of conceivably miss it, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they were just walking around these islands, it would be largely like 80% obscured by the tree line around the edge of the embankments anyway.
What are we missing, though, to get this thing off the ground?
Maybe, the thing is, maybe you have to be an elven princess to fly it, and then she crashed here and got taken away by the hobgoblins.
Even if somebody does find it, I would like to take that red gem. I can remove it. I try to remove it. I tug on it a little bit, furtively at first, faster.
Okay, you reach into the compartment, and the diamond, you can only just get your hand around the top of it. It's huge. I mean, it's really huge. Like, if this was you don't know for sure if this is an actual diamond, and you took it back, you're basically like, providing you're allowed to keep it, you would be like the equivalent of millionaires, right? So this is a massive thing. Okay, you put your hand on it and you tug, and it seems that the stand it's on, it's like lots of tiny little metal arms, which sort of come out of the like spikes out the side of the compartment, and sort of have a sort of like they connect to a kind of a ring which it's sitting in, and it does seem hard to shift. You can't seem to do it with a normal tug.
Hey, Onas, why don't you try to mage hand it?
That's a good idea. How's that tugging going?
Not good.
Let me help with a little bit of mage hand.
So, Bjorn, you're getting out the way, or you're going
I'm out
to
of the
hold
way.
it as well as
I'm pulling the mage hand out of my mage hand pouch.
Its weight certainly looks like within your mage hand ability. Okay,
about 3 kilos.
You take out your creepy mummified hand on a string.
I wave it in Hjani's face, and then I start mage handing.
You concentrate, and you guys see it sort of like, just perceivably sort of vibrating, and then it's sort of rattling. It does seem to be some sort of like, does appear to be some sort of a movement, some slack in the hole. And you concentrate, and then you relax. You can't seem to move it.
Mage hand says no. I
push it in. I just want to see if I can push it inwards.
Okay, you put your hand on it and you give it a massive push right now. I want you to make a reflex saving throw.
Uh-oh.
What is your reflex saving throw?
+6.
And you have to beat 15, so.
That's a 2. +6.
Okay.
It's an 8.
So you tug on it, he mage hands it, finally you get on there and you just try to jam it in. At that point, from somewhere you don't know where, you just feel like you get the feeling of a small needle jabbing into your hand from somewhere, but you didn't really sort of see where it came from. You just went, "Wah!"
Ow!
And you shake your hand, you look down, you got a little like blood spot like coming out of here. Now what's interesting?
The diamond bit me.
What's interesting is, as a rogue, the first thing that you think is when a needle pricks you is poison, but actually you can just still taste in your mouth and feel the elixir vary coursing through your veins, and you take a breath, you wait, you try to keep your mind calm, if it's poison or not, and nothing seems to materialize. No ill effects.
Are you okay in there? What's going on?
The diamond bit me, and it's not a poison diamond, guys.
Are you still high?
Maybe.
Okay. We're not getting that diamond out.
Yeah.
I think we've covered up the ornithopter.
Like, no, I was pressing it, and it felt like a needle pricked me, and look, I got a cut.
Yeah, because you were pressing down on a sharp needle, a sharp diamond.
And how did you feel?
Like a little prick.
So it wasn't poisoned.
No, it wasn't poisoned.
I wonder, everything seems to be related to blood and poppies, and maybe if you have some blood
You
as
just
well
want
as
to pour things on
I
this
just
diamond.
want to pour
don't you?
things on the
All
diamond.
right, I take. I think that's a good idea. So I smear a bit of blood on that thing.
Okay, you sort of give your prick a squeeze. I'm sorry, I couldn't get it out. I couldn't get it out.
Hey,
prick hole.
You give
Means never
your
have me say sorry.
you give the part of your hand that was pricked a squeeze. You let a couple of I'm sorry everyone, a couple of blood drops fall onto it, and nothing perceivable happens.
God,
Does that normally happen when you squeeze your prick?
blood comes out?
Yeah.
No, I usually just cry.
Nothing perceivable happens.
There are some in the human quarter that will tell you that. Some ladies there.
All right, let's stop pricking about and go back up to the camp.
Yeah.
That can I just say as a DM, I think that was the best burn of the entire series so far. Anyway,
Keeping track, have you?
but just seems that way.
She cleaved you. You got cleaved. Cleave burned.
You cut another man in half, down to size.
Yeah. The writing
they
your
call
own
me the
books one was the
decapitator.
previous one, yeah. Okay, so what are your next options?
Right.
It's the morning.
I want to go make sure we've picked up this map, the one that we found.
Yes.
And I want to have a look at the writing that was, you said there was some extra inscriptions on the map.
By Broken Bridge.
By the Broken Bridge, some kind of scroll. I want to
Yeah,
examine
it's in some sort of like language or code you don't understand.
I don't understand. Can I, so there's no, could I do a bit of code breaking? Could I do some kind of,
That's a good question.
yeah.
Does somebody has a skill about reading codes or languages or something, right? Is that...
I've got, just calligraphy is the only thing I have that would be.
Oh yeah, we used that for the
Forgery.
thing last time.
That was for
This
forgery,
is
though. That was
definitely
forgery. That wasn't
a case of
cryptography.
deciphering things. Sorry, just
Yeah.
looking down the list there. Let me.
Decipher
You know what?
script.
While I'm looking down, down the list, I want to know what are Hjani and Seyda discussing in the meantime.
I'm glad that my skills are just, hitting things.
Yeah, it's nice being able to hit things.
yeah.
Hit things.
I feel-
How are you feeling after the
Well,
fear?
I got to hit something, so I actually feel a lot better now.
I feel a lot better after hitting that guy in half as well.
I feel like I should just have a, constant stream of things to hit, and then I just never have to face my feelings again.
I like this. If we get back to civilization, let's start some kind of business.
Yeah, where we just hit people.
Okay, Bjorn, what's your decipher script and Onas? It is in fact a skill under D. Sorry.
My decipher script is just my intelligence, which is a +4.
+4. Okay,
Yes.
Onas.
Yeah, mine's I've got nothing in there, so it would just be an intelligence check, and my intelligence is 11.
Okay, this is DC 20 though, so you have to get a 16 or above. Bjorn, roll the dice.
Okay. Yours is 11, yeah?
Yeah.
I rolled a 9. Yeah, that's a
Yeah, you can't
13.
make head nor tail of it.
Huh?
Do you want to go? Just
I'll
in
have a
case?
go, but I don't think I'm going to do any better with.
Everyone else can check their decipher script rolls. If they don't have it, then it is your intelligence bonus.
So I'm rolling. I have to get a. What do I need to get?
Oh, it's DC 20 and you have no bonus, so you have to get a 20.
Oh, okay. I did not get a 20. I got a 12.
Okay, anybody else have a shot at this?
I mean, I'll have a look, but as a barbarian, we only just established that I can actually read common.
Okay, what's your intelligence bonus?
+1.
Okay.
It's a 19.
Oh,
Okay,
she
so
made it.
so here's what happens. The rogue with the skill goes over it for like 5 to 10 minutes, gives up. Then Onas says, "Let the learned wise elf have a go," but he can't make head nor tail of it either. And Seyda looks at it and recognizes parts of it are symbolic, sort of like code, like a substitution code, which is something similar to that used. Now, you know this, but you don't necessarily have to. You guys don't know. This is what you think in your head. For humans living on the Wrecker, out on the farms where you're from, there is actually a kind of a secret language just for humans.
Is it a hobo code?
No. Anyway, it exists. It's not widely used. It's not anything big secret, but it's there, and it is taught to some people. And you recognize some of the symbols, and not all of them, but it's enough for you to get out. And it seems to be that the bit you can decipher 2 words right above the X, and you realize that this is code marking a town. And by the way, you guys have never heard of, no one has ever heard of there being a town out here on the Rossmore. A town, and you can decipher the 2 words appear to be its name. And it's the 2 words are mission, and in common language, the mission with the implication of a religious mission, and adherent.